Blood Mountain.
To tail of the dragon.
Pikes Peak.
Delfast.
What's up, man? This is the meetup spot for the ride?
Maxwrist.
What's up, man? How you doing? These big guys are nuts, man.
This is when Moto Jim was riding fast on the 2020 R6. That bike later on ended up getting crashed, and I don't think he's riding the same anymore. We did a double fairing install on two of my bikes, the 2015 BMW S1000RR and the 2012 Honda CBR 1000RR. Both of them turned out excellent. The BMW looked really good. I don't have that bike anymore, and I'll explain why a little bit later on in the video, but I do have the 2012 CBR and it looks great. Here, a very good friend of mine, Motorsport Junkies 310,
March 3rd.
goes into the guardrail on Azusa. It was a very bad day for him, but he was alright, but his beloved R6 got crashed. On January 16th of 2021, I made maxwrist Life, another YouTube channel that I could put more videos on. I had more vlogs than I could edit highly enough to put on the main channel, so this channel just allows me to put more moto vlogs out there. It also lets me put videos that aren't moto vlogs out there in other parts of my life without worrying about how the channel is going to do. This channel's done great the last year, and I appreciate all your support watching it. This was my one and only track day of 2021. It was at Chuckwalla in California. It was a great track day. I thought the video was great, but it performed poorly. Not that many people watched it, and that has been the result with every track day video I've ever done.
I have no camera on my chin today because we're at Chuckwalla Raceway and they don't allow us.
Y'all asked me, okay, last shot of the day, who do you know can do a wheelie down the straight?
I can.
Can you mind doing that?
I got my man Brandon came through for the ride.
This is another friend of mine named Brandon. He also crashed on Azusa on his Kawasaki. He did rebuild the bike and it's as good as it was before, and he is still riding.
He's killing the game with the maxwrist sticker. He's a Fresno bro. Look at that damn McLaren.
We were on a group ride on PCH and I came across this McLaren. Little did I know it was Jay Leno's McLaren and he's driving.
I got a McLaren.
Jay Leno gets the max pass.
Now you're playing with power. You've got to get a hold of yourself.
I also met Jarrett Campisi and his girlfriend Christina in 2021. This was at Santa Barbara Ducati. We did a group ride to there. It was a good event.
You gotta record everything, man. You can't miss anything.
Wow, I've never even met you before.
No, I haven't.
Brother.
Nice to meet you, man. Seen you online for years, of course.
This was the first YouTube short I did. I ended up editing it for a long time because I was getting ready to go across the country to Blood Mountain, Georgia. Ended up doing pretty good, and I liked the video. It was fun.
Alright, we're sitting outside of Skid RR's house, up on the hill. We're about to go ride.
So I show up to Blood Mountain. There's people that know me there right away.
It's an honor to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I watch your videos all the time.
Appreciate it. Nice bike. Good old Fireblade. I know.
I know. A couple of minutes.
Yeah, I got one. That was my first bike.
So I see this crew at Blood Mountain, and these guys are ATL track riders. They're pretty quick. We had some really good rides. This is one of the best performing videos of 2021. Motorcycle Mortal Kombat.
What up, man? Good, man. Super monster. I seen you guys moving, going down. I figured I'd come say what's up.
Survive.
Nice to meet you, man. It's a good camera. Huh?
Not messing with you?
That don't mess with me. Everything good.
Chaos Realm Invasion. Invite. Assassin Battle. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him.
So I ended up having a great ride with those guys. Unfortunately, Jaywalk crashed, but he was alright.
I gotta see what kind of cheater car we got here. All stock. Alright, about to run the Camaro. They say it's pretty fast.
Perfect. Fight!
So this was the run versus the Z01 Camaro. This guy was so fast on this mountain, I couldn't keep up with him. It was the first time I had got gapped by a car in a long time. This was pretty cool to meet Red Spade. She is an influencer that was popular when I started in 2015, so it was cool to finally meet her and ride with her.
Test your might. Test your strength. Boss battle.
What's up, man?
Let's play.
This was the fastest guy I came across on Blood Mountain.
This is a war.
It has begun.
And this was the fastest woman I came across on Blood Mountain. It's a local named Carrie. She's wicked fast on her Suzuki. I look forward to riding with her again next year. The real story behind the 2015 BMW S1000RR is that it was bought by Dana, negotiated by Maxi for me to ride. After Dana and I split ways, Dana wanted to keep the bike. I apologize for making the doxing video about her. I thank her for letting me ride the bike, and I hope she enjoys the bike in the future and takes very good care of it.
Alright, here is your introduction to Tail of the Dragon.
Now we are back at Tail of the Dragon. The road I started riding in 2012 when I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. It's one of my favorite roads in the world. Now I'm following Chucky on the R6, who is well known to be one of the fastest riders on the Dragon. I've rode with him in years before. This was my first ride back at the Dragon, and he gapped me.
Realm boss wins.
What's up, man? Yeah. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, man. Yeah. I'm glad I'm back.
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
This was very cool. This kid comes up to me and tells me I'm one of his favorite YouTubers. I was pumped.
You're one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I got a sticker for you too.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Love you too, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
No, not me. You don't pass me. This is my road.
Challenge accepted.
Let's see if we can keep
This was my first encounter with Aunt Prilia. The guy taunted me, I passed him, then he came up talking trash afterwards.
No. This is my road. You don't pass me. maxwrist. He ain't dead yet. That should do it.
Fast follow him back. He is, he's leading 3 series right now. He is so fast that way, it's stupid. Wait for him to come back. If you want him fast though.
That guy that just left?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about him. And
Go to the overlook to make sure that ZX14's there.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll follow him back.
Excellent. It has begun.
This was one of the best performing videos of 2021. This guy was really fast on Tail of the Dragon. We ended up having a really good battle, and we became friends.
Pay your respects.
This is the highest viewed video on maxwrist Life this year. So there's a long story with this guy. This guy initially started talking trash about me to Bad Kitty Time. Then Bad Kitty told me this guy said he was going to gap me. It didn't happen. I ended up gapping him. Anyways, a few months later, this guy apparently ends up getting arrested for a lot of drugs and money and is in jail right now in North Carolina.
We're at Pikes Peak, Colorado, and things aren't getting off to a great start. We didn't know anything about the road, and I found out we had to pay to get in. Then there's a gate you gotta go through, so that was the first fishy thing. Then the lady at the gate says you can't go all the way to the top because it's too busy here. You can go 3 miles from the top and then take a shuttle to the top. Quite a bit. Oh my God.
So Pikes Peak was a total bust. We went up a couple miles behind a bunch of cars, and then it ended up being gridlocked at the top. I wouldn't recommend going to this road and trying to go fast.
It's gridlocked all the way up. This is the last 1.5 miles. This is done. Alright, here's the deal today. We're in Wolf Creek. We're going to be leaving soon, head back to California for the winter. And we got to get a ride in with the Wolf himself before we went. So he's going to hop on the Grom, take it for a ride. And we're just going to go do a loop around Chuckwalla, where we've been killing the game the whole time. I'm excited. Michael hasn't rode in a while, so he's excited. It's Big John's curve. We gotta be careful on this one. You know Michael's killing it.
I was so happy that we were able to get Michael on a ride. It's been 20 years since he rode.
Well, I'm getting a ride Phantom, the BMW S1000RR. Can't believe he's letting me do this. Man, you're talking about some power. Like crazy power. This thing's got some crazy power. Damn. Damn, that was awesome, man. I'm glad you got this.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good. You want to do a run?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So he just got the double R. He's been chasing you and Kitty all day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Right. It's such a hard person to find. We almost went straight up. We want to go get.
How's it going, brother?
Running right way, but he wants to ride.
Cool.
Yeah, buddy. What's up, bro? How are you doing today?
Good. We went up to Newcomb's earlier and came back down already.
Past us, we did a U.
Oh, yeah.
So we made it back to California. The first ride back on ACH, I see saying 420. We get to do a ride up 9 Mile. He's gotten much faster since I left California.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Although I don't physically remember this crash at all, when I rewatch it, it was just a bad move to try to make a pass on the right. The car was startled once they seen motorcycles behind them, pushed to the right, it pushed me to the right in the middle of a turn, I went into the guardrail. It was just a bad situation. I sustained several injuries from this crash, broken humerus, fractured neck, multiple other injuries to foot. My wrist actually is the most pain still to this day, and it is still recovering. I'm still trying to get range of motion back in my wrist. I'm just incredibly thankful that I'm able to ride again, still able to ride at a high level. I am very lucky.
Alright, we have the 360 video started. I'm out here. Guess what today is? Today is 1 month after the guardrail crash, and I am going to attempt to ride again on my Honda Grom. Taking things easy to start off with, see if I got it back. I still have problems with
this arm. Mega flexibility and issue problems. And my neck, it looks bad, but my neck is feeling good actually. I'm gonna try. I'm not letting off the throttle. Ain't no slowing me down. Forget about it. I'm back in attack. Ready to kill the game again. My wrist needs a little bit of work, but I feel great. This feels awesome. Feels like I'm living again.
Let's be on an R1, oh my god.
Yep, on the R1. You guys ready to hear this thing start? We're about to do a little ride up AFH. This key is ghetto. You guys ready to hear this thing? It's nasty.
So I ended up getting this Yamaha R1 because it was a really good deal and it was a really good bike. And I ended up liking it, but not as much as the S1000. So this was the best performing short of the year on YouTube. It's when I was riding with Wizard. He was on his S1K, I was on the R1. I started getting really comfortable on the R1, and then you know what happened.
There we go, the R1's on fire. I ran over a big rock in the middle of the road and just slid out. And that was it.
After the R1 burned down, I bought my 5th BMW S1000RR. After owning and riding the R1 for a while, it just further solidified how much better the BMW is than any other bike out there. Big shout outs to my sponsors on the bike: Instant 360, Brent Tuning, SC Project, Motivation USA, Cardo, Bursic, New Rage Cycles, Race Torex, Gillis Tooling.
Alright, here is the deal today. Delfast, the bicycle company, has finally come through. There's the bike. It's an electronic bicycle that goes 200 miles and 50 miles per hour. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, Max fam, I'm on the Delfast 3.0. We're going to do a top speed run. 50 miles per hour, 52 miles per hour. Oh my god, this bike is incredible. Delfast.
This is my favorite machine to ride around on the daily.
Here's the deal today. Look at what I got in front of me. It's the BMW M1000RR. It's Troy's, and he's crazy enough to let me ride it. First ride, M1000RR. Thank you, Troy. Uh-oh, the M's going for it.
This bike was everything I thought it would be. It had so much power. Thank you, Troy from Brent Tuning, for letting me ride it.
We've made it to the spot. I'm here with Parker from Vehicle Virgins and his friend who also has a Tesla Plaid. There's 2 Tesla Plaids sitting here. I'm racing in. I'll go.
It has begun. Round 1. Fight!
This Tesla Plaid really did surprise me on how fast it accelerates. I seen videos on how fast they were, but I couldn't believe it until I seen it in person.
Alright, Plaid 1, S1000R.
This really caught me off guard. We were going fast in the straightaway and Kitty hit the brakes and I hit the acceleration and we almost collided. This was the last ride of the year down 9 Mile with Sand 420. Me and him were going at it. I passed him, but he was still really close to me on the inside, so I ended up entering the turn too wide and it was almost really bad. quickly regain my composure and then start riding fast again right away.
The R1, I gotta chase him.
Target cleared.
You can't keep up with this R1.
Alright, that thing's fast.
R1.
So I come across this random R1 on Ortega Highway. This guy is sending it.
Finish him.
Unfortunately, he almost sends the R1 over the edge right here, but he saves it. Good on him.
You did?
Yeah, just a second ago. I don't. Car's almost gone.
Yeah, that's good.
After all that hard riding, he drops the bike right in the middle of the street.
That frame slider got you.
That was the last ride of the year. On the ride home, I ended up doing some wheelies on the highway. Overall, what a wild and crazy year. I can't believe I made it through it. I barely did, but I'm looking forward to next year. I got some collabs going on with some other YouTubers I'm excited about, and I'm just looking forward to riding. My New Year's resolution is no crashes. These are the people that were closest to me in 2021. I love you.